Good morning. It's Thursday, May 21st, and I'm so excited to continue this discussion on action. I found today's subject incredibly empowering to get immersed into, and hopefully you find the same from the prompt from the Daily Stoic, which is, can I take a blow and stay in the ring? So this prompt comes from a metaphor that Epictetus uses to compare our preparation and resilience to that of a boxer who finds himself in the midst of a challenging bout. The boxer certainly does have the opportunity to quit the match, but he knew what he was getting himself into. He knew that no matter how hard and thoroughly he trained, he was going to have to withstand some painful hits. That's just the nature of the sport. And if he's not careful and relaxes his guard for even just a minute, even a less capable fighter can catch him with a devastating left hook. But the boxer's objective is to remain resilient, to remain unmoved from his original plan and training, to keep his wits about him as the blows begin to fall. Further, he knows that there is a moment of immediacy right after he receives a punch where he has to select the counter move. How does he respond right then? And so Epictetus says, the same is true for us in life if we choose to use philosophy as a tool for preparing ourselves for anything and everything that may come. If we've prepared to endure any punches that life throws at us, then we can truly embrace the concept of amor fati, or a love of fate. That's a position of power, one of confidence, one of conviction. That's staring life down and saying, hit me with your best shot. I know how to handle myself. If not, if we've merely read the words and not fully absorbed them, then we're gonna either crumble to the mat as soon as life lands a solid uppercut, or we're gonna exit the ring as soon as it becomes unbearable. And that's an unfortunate position to be in. That's dangerous territory. That's what leads to a lot of self-destroying coping mechanisms and potentially to the most egregious form of quitting the match, or the 10th most common form of death in this country, suicide. But there's a third type of person, a third type of boxer in our metaphor to consider. A fighter doesn't just stick to learning technique and practicing drills and working a speed bag. They have to spar as well. They have to simulate the adversity that they'll see when it really matters. This affords them experience and builds confidence in their ability to respond to unpredictability and adversity. The alternative is a terrible choice. Can you imagine a boxer never having felt a real punch before he steps into the ring? That self-doubt would be crippling. And that's what the song by the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, The Impression That I Get, is all about. The singer Dickie Barrett laments in the bridge, I'm not a coward, I've just never been tested. I'd like to think that if I was, I would pass. Look at the tested and think, there but for the grace go I. Might be a coward, I'm afraid of what I might find out. So how do we reconcile things here? How do we get our fighter in training, Dickie Barrett, from the position of self-doubt over to a position of self-power, or a position of power? Do we just throw him in the ring with Mike Tyson at his prime and hope for the best? Most assuredly not, just as I wouldn't advise anyone to go on some masochistic journey just for the hell of it. But I would advise our fighter to continue studying and learning from those who came before him. Herein lies the power of books. Learn from their experience, observe their tactics, see their missteps, admire their grace and poise in the face of adversity. Then realize that the fighter works his way up through progressively more advanced opponents, gaining experience and building confidence along the way. So too must we look for small victories. We practice keeping our cool and maintaining rational thought and decision-making in low-stakes environments. We reflect after the fact on how we handled ourselves in that perhaps seemingly insignificant moment of challenge. We acknowledge and admire the strength and robustness of human resilience. There is no limit to what we can handle. I can tell you that from personal experience. I've sometimes wondered how I would have handled my crucible in 2003 differently had I been equipped with the tools and training and mindset that I have now. But then I'm quickly brought back to the present and I realize it doesn't matter. What matters today is that I know what I'm capable of. I know what kind of fighter I am, and I'm fully prepared to respond with equanimity and resilience to any expected punch that life manages to throw my way. And I hope the same for you. Have a great day. Bye.